Hello, people. Lek the Farmer here. And today I want to talk about World of Tank Blitz. But more specifically, I want to talk about the game and how it's changed in the last few months and what you need to do now if you want to continue winning in this current era. And I've got this replay running in the background. It's just a boring T95 game, and that's the perfect. A T95 replay is the perfect thing to show when you are trying to talk about something totally different because it's so boring. So I want to talk about the game and how I think you now have to play this game. I'm currently serving a chat ban, which I received because I lost my temper and yelled at some idiot and probably told him he was an idiot. But the reality is I shouldn't have yelled at him, and that was a mistake. But I lost my temper because I'm playing the game. I was playing the game incorrectly. When I got a previous chat ban a few months ago, and I swore I would stop being negative and I would just be positive with other players. And I realize now that the mistake I made was not trying to be positive with other players. It's actually interacting with any of the other players. You shouldn't speak to them at all. What you should do, and this is what a lot of great players do, and I always avoided playing this way, but I'm afraid there's no choice. You are just there to farm everyone. And now, if you're in a platoon, it's everyone but your platoon partner. If you're not in a platoon, you're there to farm 13 other people. None of them are on your team. You are your own team, and your job is to sit back and do as much damage as possible and absorb the least amount of damage as possible until the last 1 or 2 minutes of the game. Now, you should still be interactive and active in the game. You shouldn't just hide and spawn and do nothing. You should definitely move forward and take shots, but you should avoid taking damage at all time, and you should definitely not be front line. And I'm not saying that if you're at a Moss, you should hide in the back. No, but you shouldn't be front lining a Moss, because the Moss is actually the perfect example of that. In the old days, you would push forward and you would absorb damage while your teammates shot the people who were then shooting you. Now, if you did this today, you would go forward in your Moss and you would absorb damage, and your teammates were sitting in the back doing nothing, and then when you die, they call you a nub, and then you call them an idiot, and then you got a chat ban. Anyway, so when you take your Moss, you just have to back up and let someone else take the lead. And just imagine being in your Moss with 3,000 hit points and then pushing to the front line with a minute left in the game when everyone on the other team is down to 1 or 2 shots. And you have 3,000 hit points, and there's nothing they can do. You're going to win easily. You're going to carry. And that is the game we have today. And I don't blame wargaming for this, to be honest with you. The problem is the game has just changed. The game is there to appeal to people who want instant satisfaction. When we all started playing this game, it took a month to get to a tier 10 tank. I mean, hell, when I got my first tier 10, which was a T62, it took 3 weeks to get all the equipment because there was timers set on it and you had to get parts. Today, because the tech tree has been shrunk significantly, and because of all the 5X certificates and all the free XP they're handing out, if you downloaded the game today and you had a couple of bucks to spend, you could get into a tier 10 tank in about a day, probably less, maybe 4 or 5 hours of just playing, using 5X certificates, using free XP, and converting gold to free XP. It's very easy to do. And we have run into many, many players in this game who are playing tier 10 and have less than 2,000 or even less than 1,000 matches. And I'm not talking about people who bought a T22. I'm talking about somebody in an E100 or a T62 or a 183, of course. People who are in tier 10, they don't have any camouflage, and they have no idea what they're doing. But getting mad at them is not the answer. The answer is to farm them. They are your stooges. You have to use them to your advantage. So I'll explain what I mean by that, and I've got a couple of replays that I think will illustrate my point perfectly. Okay, so match 1. Now, I know before you say anything, both of these matches are in the Smasher, but I will tell you that what I did here would not have changed no matter what tank I used. They just happened to be perfect matches to illustrate my point, and I happen to be playing the Smasher, which I play a lot because I like to win. So we're at Lost Temple. We've got a couple of meds. They have a couple of meds. Lineup is pretty straightforward. I see his KV2 has no camo, so I assume he's not a very good player. I see my meds are coming to the temple.
Tiger P has no camo as well and seems a bit confused. I don't mind the meds coming to the temple. I just know I have to watch my flank, and I'm kind of waiting. I don't push. I notice the TDs are AFK. Both of the tank destroyers are AFK. One of them has no camo, so I'm at least 3 no camo players. And you'll see in this match, it's not a massive carry. It's actually using this farming technique to win a game that I normally would have lost. So at this point, we are 5 on 7. SC-100's in the corner, and right away I spot the Bulldog, or someone spots the Bulldog. And so I know their meds are probably not going C. Now, I know you can say, oh, that was a nice hit. That was a smasher hit. If their meds had gone C, I would have known they were coming because they would have probably spotted C, as most people tend to do, and they would have eventually been spotted by our AFKs, and I would have gone backwards and farmed them while they were killing the AFKs. So it's not like I would have lost this had their meds not flanked. I would have achieved the exact same outcome. It's a little bit easier because it didn't flank, but it's still 5 on 7. It's actually, a difficult situation. We are literally 5 on 7, and we have our med is standing in the front there like a moron. Tiger P is in the open. KV2 is lost. I'm not pushing. Normally you would say, I'm in a smasher. It's a tier 6 game. I should be front and center. Nope. We have 2 AFKs. I've got 3 people without camo. I'm just going to sit here, and the other team is not rushing us. Just be patient. I am playing really back line. I'm actually the TD because our TDs are AFK. I'm trying to clear the challenger. I don't care if I clear him or not. My goal here is to sit here as long as I can to see if my tank destroyers come back to life. And they are still not moving. So if they don't come back to life, then I will just be the last person alive. And I will do 3,000 to 4,000 damage and I'll lose. But I was going to lose anyway. If they come back to life, I have another chance. So I'm in the back. I'm spotting a little bit. I see the Tiger P. He does get a shot into me. I don't know where that went. That should have penetrated, but that doesn't matter. I'm not going to rush him. He took another shot, so I know I got a second to wait. I'm just going to hang back. They're not being aggressive. I know that me being here is keeping this Tiger P from pushing. My TDs are now moving. So that's the surprise. That should have gone in. I don't know why that didn't, but that doesn't matter. So now the TDs are moving, so we are now officially a full team, except for the idiot who died in the first 30 seconds. So it's 6 on 7, but I'm in the smasher, which helps, but it doesn't matter. I'm still holding this entire side. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. That was funny. But again, I'm still not pushing, even though now we actually had a tank advantage. We're actually now at 6 on 4 because the TDs are active. I'm still not going to push. I don't care. I don't care how much damage I do. I just want to win the game. And I know ultimately I will get damage because I'll be at the end, I'll be still alive. So even though my TDs are now moving forward, most people at this point would just rush in. Why? They're still capable of losing the game. We have 3 people without camo. One of the guys who died was in no camo. Actually, I think 3045 actually had camo. So 3 no camo players are still in the game, which means they could die at any minute. So the Tiger P is cleared. I'm still not being aggressive. At this point, I know that the KV for some reason has gone to cap C. No one else is spotted because everyone is doing the spotting for me. I don't spot anymore. That's not a job for me. So I know I can push forward in cap B and make sure we don't lose on points. And now I can just go farm whoever's left. I don't care if I do the most damage. I know I'm going to win. I waited till my AFKs came in. Thank you very much. There's my guy. KV2 drives in front of me and saves the KV3's life because, of course, he's an idiot. But I do think he kills the... Oh, no, the emo kills him. No, he did nothing. He's sitting there staring into space like an idiot. But don't call him an idiot. It's not going to help. Just ignore him. I'm going to push to the right. I've done 2,000 damage, which for a smasher is okay. That's about my average with this tank. It's fine. I don't care. That was a ridiculously bad shot, but don't care. 6 on 2. Still not being aggressive. I'm not going to push. And again, if I was in a freaking Tiger P, I still would have done the exact same thing. My job is not to push. My job is not to spot. I've taken the spotting range off all of my lights. They are now all camo net. Someone else can spot. I don't care. I know that sounds wrong, but trust me. If you play this way, you will win more and your damage per game will go up. Since I've done this, I'm running at about a 67-68% win rate. It works. This was an easy win. I barely broke a sweat. Took a couple shots, landed a couple shots. Big deal. You can see I did 2,700 damage, basically. Top damage, great. I gave the email and the Panther a lucky player. I know you see the green thumbs. Um, let's go to match number 2. So yes, I am in the Smasher again. This time it is a tier 8 game. And I can see right off the bat, looking at the players, I've got 2 Moon Men on my team. Oh, how wonderful. Top 10 North American clan, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but look what they're in. They're in their SC-130s with matching camo. They look so cute. They just bought them in the store. The low wants to go to the right. And of course, our Moon Men are going to the left. So I'm stopping for just a second to see what they're doing. Yep. Oh, yes. They're going to go farm us. And look, they want us to go to the right so they can farm us. They're doing the exact same thing that I'm going to do. The only difference is they're not going to farm me. And I will warn you, when you play this way, the Unicum players like the Moon Men and Purple and whoever the hell, they're going to get really pissed off when you do this because they want to farm off you. So they don't want you farming. So when they start yelling at you, I want you to remember very clearly what you have to do is absolutely nothing. Just do exactly what you're doing and ignore them. Eventually, they'll get annoyed and actually go play the game, and then you can farm off of them, which is what you need to do. So just ignore their whining. It doesn't matter. They're just complaining because they want to farm off you. So I'm way in the back. I'm literally playing third line here in my TD, also known as a Smasher. I've already got a kill. Got, nice amount of damage. This guy says he's going to hang me. That might be worthy of a chat ban, but don't bother reporting him because he won't get one. Only I get those. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, another kill. Lovely. Type 59 is gone. And the Moon Men are farming away. Now, the Moon Man's little plan does backfire, which becomes really hilarious shortly. Because if you're counting tanks, there's only 4 on the right now. They're down to 5, but there's only 4 on the right. Where is the missing Luva? We're missing a Luva. And nobody's capping A. What is he doing? Is he AFK? Is he wandering around? Oh, but we'll find out soon enough, folks. All I know is that I'm sitting in the back of the TD and I'm just farming away. I've taken no damage. Their team is falling apart. And there's our Luva. He's gone A. He's flanking in a 92-ton heavy. I love it. Why not? And he has caused the Moon Men to be spotted. And now the SU has killed one of them. So now they're really pissed. That was a hit, by the way. That was a blind heat shot into the belly of that glacial. And that was a hit. Now I got to move. The Moon Man is yelling at me to move. Boo-hoo. Of course, he's right. I have to move because the Luva is coming up behind me. But I'm not going to rush into... Yes, I'm not a TD. No, actually, you're wrong, Moon Man. I am a TD. And you're my little spotter. So I'm pushing forward, but I'm not pushing forward to the front line. I'm pushing forward to the new back line. I'm still the tank destroyer. Now it's 4-on-2. You say, oh, just go and fight. No. You sit in the back and you farm. And you say to yourself, my God, you've only got about 1,000 damage. Don't worry. There's a full hit point Lube coming up. Load your heat and let her rip. And they still have a Glacial and a Luva against 4 of us. They could easily win this match. So you rush in, you're going to die. Just play backline. You're a TD. Now I see the other 3 are going after the Glacial, so I'm just going to focus this guy. I know I can get a couple more shots on him. He's going to kill me. He has way more DPM, way more armor, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't actually, but he's got better rate of fire. So I know I can get one more shot in him, which will leave him basically dead. So I'm driving around the side to get a nice AP round into him. So he's down to a 1 shot. I know he's going to kill me at this point, which is fine. I've done my damage. I was a good TD. I sat in the back. I farmed away. Now I'm going to die. Oh, and here comes the Moon Man like a janitor cleaning up the garbage. What a hero. But I was a tank destroyer. I sat in the back effectively as a tank destroyer, and all I did was farm people. And those blind shots did go in, so look at this. 3,100 damage. I'm top damage, 2 kills. I look like a hero, and I sat in the back and farmed these other poor people, including the Moon Man. Oh, no. And you notice he got a little mad when that happened, but guess what? That's life. And this is life, Moon Man. This is the new world. So I know you guys probably think this is crazy, but it actually works. If you're in a heavy, you play second line. If you're in a TD, you don't move. If you're in a light, don't bother spotting. You can do a little spotting and then run away. Don't engage the enemy until there's 2 minutes left in the battle. Just sit there and farm. People will yell you. People will call you a nub. Just ignore them because you are going to be winning. And that's what this is about. This is about winning the game. And in the current meta, The way the game is played, that is the only way to win the game. And like it or not, this is the world we live in. If you don't like it, play another game. So anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Please subscribe to the channel, and bye-bye.